Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. We did another, well, not really another. I was gonna say another 3 looks 1 palette, but this video is more of a 3 looks 3 palettes. I made a statement about this on my Instagram stories and also on Twitter, but with these Lunatick Labs palettes, the formula truly just is not my favorite to work with. I used them together in a video when I got sent these like half a year or so ago. I did get sent these in PR if that wasn't clear. And the formula is just not my favorite. It's not horrible, but it's really not the best. And with these palettes, they all have like 5 or 6 shadows, and then this is the Elvira palette. Packaging on all of these is adorable. But the shade selection is super limited. This is the Vampira, all shimmers. And I just truly wasn't inspired enough to do a 3 looks with each of these. This is the Supernatural. So I figured my way around that would be to do 3 looks, 3 palettes. 1 look is dedicated to each palette in my hand here. I'm sure some of you are going to be disappointed that I didn't do 3 separate looks for each of these palettes, but I just truly was not inspired enough to do so. And I don't feel like you want to watch me do videos that I'm just simply not inspired to do. So this was a lot more fun for me to just focus on 1 look for each palette. I think I created some really pretty looks. I will talk more about my thoughts about the formula at the end, but regardless, I hope you enjoy. I'm still very grateful that I got sent these in PR. I'm glad I had the chance to try them. The packaging is stunning. There's a chance I might keep these around simply just for the packaging and for decorative purposes, but as far as the insides, I'll get to that. Let's get into these looks now. Hello! We're gonna create look number 1. It's actually been a few days since I filmed. I can't remember the last time I filmed. I think it was, today's Tuesday? Maybe Thursday? We had our Bachelorette weekend, which has already happened by the time this goes up, but that'll have been happened. Today is the 21st, so I don't think this video is going up until closer to the end of the month. But yeah. Hello, it's been a while. Eyes primed, Smashbox, lid primer, and light as usual. Let's create a look. So for look number 1, I only have about an hour until I need to leave. I have my consultation with the oral surgeon about getting my wisdom teeth removed. So for a quick look, we're gonna use the Supernatural palette today for look number 1. I think I'm pretty much just gonna like use the gradient that's in here. I'm just gonna kind of deepen up the outer corner with the red, blend it out with this, and that, and then this one's gonna go across the lid. Pretty self-explanatory. I feel like it's kind of the look that this palette wants you to do, and I'm just gonna oblige. I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna be good. So let's just go ahead and start with Ghoulite, the second to darkest shade. I'm just gonna take this Morphe R37 brush. It doesn't really matter what you use. I'm just using a fluffy brush just to kind of work in the outer portion of my eye. I'm not going to carry this all the way through the crease. I want this stuff more so focused on the outer portion of the lower lash line and crease. What's going on with you guys? Our Bachelorette weekend was so fun. We went to Orlando. We did a joint one, so it was the guys and the girls together. We went to an escape room. We went to dinner, then we just walked around downtown Disney, and, well, I guess it's called Disney Springs now. I always mix it up. Just walked around, had some mac and cheese from a food truck at Disney. Then we just went back and played cards and went to bed. Then the next day we just went and got brunch. It was fun. Very low-key and chill, which is my kind of mood. I'm gonna now take this fluffy brush. It's pretty much the same size, just a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna take Reincarnation and just start blending that out a little bit. This shade I'm not going to be afraid to kind of carry all the way across because it's a lot lighter, but mostly using the shade just to blend out the edge. Like I said, I haven't really filmed in a while, but I recently had uploaded the part-time YouTuber tag, and I don't think I've filmed since uploading it. I can't remember, but I just wanted to say thank you for all your kind words about me explaining my like work-life balance and wanting to, I don't know, not kill myself with work. And I've been trying to practice that, like on days that I'm just like, I don't have to film today. I kind of would rather just like do this, that, or the other thing. And I am, and it's been really good. I feel like I'm actually living life so far this year. And it's really nice, trying to find a good balance, and I think it's been good. I like it. I'm gonna take Spook now, that darker red color, and I'm gonna take this brush from Spectrum, the B06. Just gonna load that color up on the brush and just start working that in the outer corner. These shades aren't the most overly pigmented in the world, so I wouldn't be too fearful of it like going overboard. But you can also go in a little at a time and build it up as necessary. This palette seems fine so far. I've only really used part of this palette once. This palette seems fine. It's not something I'm like living and dying for. Enjoying it enough, I guess. Like it's blending, it's doing the job. It's the other two palettes I'm really not that excited to use, but I will use them. I'll probably do a giant exaggerated wing for look number 2 if I do the Vampira, whichever one's the Vampira look. I think I'm gonna do a giant wing because it's an all shimmer palette and that's like my way of using all shimmers. Getting a little bit of patchiness in this outer corner actually. Just trying to lightly go through and buff the edge so it's not too patchy. It's actually better. It wasn't too bad. Just kind of going back and really smoking out that lower lash line so it's soft. This is going to be a very basic look, but it's a very basic palette. So I'm going to take this brush now. It's from Scone. I think I got it in a subscription box. It's just a random like lid brush. Taking my NYX glitter primer, just a little dot of it, and popping this across the lid. And I'm going to take Invocation, and I'm just going to use that exact same brush and pop the shade right on that. Just to really brighten up this inner portion of the look. Actually, I feel like that made this look so much better. Just having that brightness in there. I'm just gonna kind of go through now with fluffy brush and make sure it's all flowing. I'm actually gonna take Myth, that lightest shade, to help blend as well. I just have like a little bit of patchiness in this outer corner. I don't think it's super obvious. It's not nearly the same as it was with that Juvia's Place Nubian 2 that was really bad. This isn't that bad. I'm just being extra picky. It's good enough. It's very basic, but it's fine. I'm just going to highlight the inner corner with the Invocation shade again, just because it's the highlight shade in the palette, the only shimmer. So that's what we will use. This is my best work I've ever done. So exquisite and intricate. I'm gonna do the other eye now, throw on my lashes, something on my lips, all that good stuff, and we will chat about those details in a moment. All right, I'm back with look number 1 complete. I ended up off camera because I was just in the zone and I didn't turn the camera back on. I took my Fairy Tale Stila Glitter and Glow with just like an angled brush and did a little bit of a wing with that. It's subtle because it's a lighter thing, but I think it's cute. I think that little element of that glitter wing kind of adds a little something to it. My eye pencil is Jewel from NYX. Of course, I can't stop using this frickin' pencil. My lashes, I've actually changed it up. Now they are Thrill Seeker from Bold Face Makeup. My Mega Babes died. Thrill Seeker's in. And on my lips, I went with mostly Keepsake from Sugar Pill. I'm so obsessed with these new liquid lipsticks from Sugar Pill. And I put a little bit of the Princess Cut So Juicy Gloss from Colourpop over the top. I like it. I think it's cute. It's very subtle and simple, but I think me adding those little extra things like the glitter liner, my big lashes, my lipstick, I feel like everything together is really cute and pretty. Not totally like what I go for on the regular. I usually go for something more bold or more colorful, but it's fine. It's cute. We did our look with that palette. Now we're gonna play with one of the other two for look number 2. All right, hello. Look number 2. We're gonna play with the Vampira palette that I just almost threw. Looks like this. It's an all shimmer palette. To get started, I did already prime my eye with the Smashbox lid primer in light like usual, and I did just quickly set it down with Myth from the Supernatural palette just so that my lid could be blank and clean of a slate to do our big wing on. In case you're new, I like a giant wing, and we're gonna do one of these giant exaggerated wings that I place the shimmer shadows on top of. That's kind of my favorite way to play with all shimmers, because I'm just not a shimmer in the crease kind of person. I don't know. Especially with these tones, like they're so, well, most of them are so deep and grungy, and I just don't want all that in my crease, you know? Maybe you don't know, but that's just how I feel. So we're gonna do a giant wing. I actually haven't done one in a little while, so it should be fun. I'm gonna be drawing the base of my wing with my Suva Beauty Grease Hydro Liner. I'm just gonna take this little e.l.f. brush. It's the e.l.f. concealer brush. I really like it for precision detail work. And I have a little bit of water right here next to me, so I'm just gonna put some water in this product. Get it the consistency it's supposed to. I just kind of eyeball it until I like how it is. You don't want it too wet, but you also don't want it too dry. I don't know, you just want it easy to work with. And I'm just going to start by drawing a line across the bottom of my lid. And then I'm gonna look up so I can see where it would transfer on my eye so that I can kind of follow that shape, just so that the wing always looks good and it doesn't smudge or anything. It's hard for me to talk while I do this, so I'm just gonna draw the wing how I like it on my eye shape. And we'll get there eventually. Something kind of sort of like that. It's not totally perfect, but I can kind of make it perfect once I lay the shadows on. That's as good as it's gonna get. I'm not gonna tempt fate and mess with it anymore. I am, however, gonna take some of my NYX glitter primer. This base, like this Suva Beauty liner, doesn't stay like totally tacky, which makes sense. It's supposed to dry down like a liner. So I'm just gonna take some NYX glitter primer just to tippy top over this so that these shimmers can pop super nicely. Just being careful to stay in my lines as best as possible. I'm using a Spectrum A16 brush, and I'm gonna start by dipping into Astro Vamp, that purple. That's gonna go in the middle of my eye. Just going to stamp this all in the middle section, all the way up to where the edge of that wing is. It's a really pretty purple. I feel like it being on top of that black base just makes it pop nicely. Don't know how well you can see it on camera, it might just look dark, but in real life it's pretty. It's not the most metallic in your face thing I've ever seen, but it's cute. I'm actually just gonna take this random angled brush now, and I'm gonna take Nefarious, which is this darker greenish color, and that's gonna be my wing color, like the outside portion. I'm using this brush just so I can get really precise up in there. And that's just gonna mesh into our purple. Typically with purples and greens, you have to be a little bit careful because they are both secondary colors and they can muddy out if you blend them together too much. But I feel like this dark green is almost a little bit blue based, so that helps. And plus they're so deep and they're both shimmers. I'm not too worried about them not blending because, I don't know, I just need them to merge. It doesn't have to be like the most complete obvious blend because it's all just gonna flow. It's just gonna look like a dark wing, really. Just gonna take this brush I used to clean up my brows. Still has a little bit of leftover concealer from this morning. Gonna just clean above that wing. And now for the front portion of the wing, I want to take Velvet Moon. This color is really cool. It's like whitish with this purpley-ish shift, and I think that'll look really pretty in the front next to that purple. I'm just gonna take the clean side of that Spectrum brush. That's gonna go in the front up against that wing. Kanade, don't play with the door. You're the one who wanted it in here. Don't act like you're unhappy. You made this choice. I'm just gonna kind of dip back and forth between the lighter shade and that purple until I like the way they flow. I just want it to be a soft gradient in the front. Something kind of sort of like that. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that green on that angled brush. Just press it really close to my lower lashes. I guess I'm just gonna kind of take this one all the way across. I thought about doing purple again, but I think just the smoky lower lash would be really cute. So that is what I'm aiming for. I'm gonna take this pencil brush now. It's a Spectrum A12, and I'm gonna take Necromancer, that kind of weird taupey color. It's hard to describe that color. I'm gonna use just a little bit of that to help smoke out this green. I'm just gonna kind of dip back and forth between the green and that taupey color. I'm just gonna keep smudging until I like it. Now I'm actually gonna dip into just this fluffy brush that I used to set my lids before, just to help with the smokage. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. I'm not going for anything too dramatic down here. Just enough to have something to complement the lid action. And for my inner corner, I'm gonna take Untarnished. The font's kind of funny, so it keeps throwing me off. But I'm just gonna highlight my inner corner with this. It's just like a silvery white kind of color. Nothing too revolutionary. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna repeat this on the other eye, finish up the rest of my details, and we will chat more about that when I get back. The weed whacking started as soon as it was time to talk again. Well, we're just going to ignore that. This is look number 2. I freaking love the way this looks. Granted, this is definitely not a palette that I was reaching for, like, at all, but I love the look I created with it. However, I probably wouldn't create too different of a look with it with that palette again, but the look I did create, I really, really like. I feel very fierce, very vampy. I like it. I am so sorry for those weed whackers. I mean, I'm not really sorry because it's not my fault, but damn, that's annoying. Okay, my eye pencil is Black Olive from NYX. I felt like it would go with that lower lash line nicely. My lashes are still Thrill Seeker from Bold Face Makeup. And on my lips, I went with Alpha from Menagerie. This is a really cute look. I just feel very fierce, dark, vampy. It's very cold outside, so I feel like it's kind of fitting. I feel cozy, and it actually matches my shirt. I didn't even think about it. But I'm wearing like greens, purple, gray. It like matches so perfectly. I didn't intend on doing that. Yeah, this was look number 2. Let's move on to look number 3, where we will play with the Elvira palette. I'm kind of scared to play with that one, but we'll see. Hello, look number 3. I'm gonna prime my eye with my Smashbox Lid Primer in Light, of course, like I have been with every look ever. Always. All right, so with this palette, it's super cute, has this little pop-up, it's adorable, but the thing is, I used this palette in my, like, using all my Lunatick Labs stuff that they sent me, like maybe half a year ago or so, and this blue is horrible. It takes so much building up and it would not stick to my lid. It was awful. You guys can watch that video if you haven't seen it, but that blue is awful, so I'm avoiding it like the plague because I want to give this palette its best chance. So we're going to play with the reds. I'm thinking I want this, Aunt Morgana shade across the lid and then maybe blending into the red and then this blushy shade, which I think is actually a blush. I probably could have used that in this video, but oh well. And then maybe deepen it up with the black. That's kind of what I'm feeling. We'll just find out. I'm going to start by laying that Aunt Morgana shade down. I'm going to use the Spectrum A08. It looks like it's more of a satin finish, so I'm not that worried about putting a glitter primer down first. I'm just going to use my regular eyeshadow primer. Yeah, definitely kind of a satin. It's not really shimmery, but it's definitely not matte either. It's a pretty color. I don't know if I've used this one before. Like I said, I've only really used these palettes once, and it was all together in one look, so I've only used like a couple shades from each palette, max. Cute. Let's go ahead and just pop some against my lower lashes. And extend the outer corner a little bit, just so it's a little bit more winged out. Cute, so far so good. We're gonna start blending that out with the red right here. And I'm just gonna use the Spectrum B06, just like a brighter red. It's nothing too crazy. I'm more so using it just for the sake of using it. I probably could have been fine just skipping to that blushy shade. I want to go ahead and just deepen it up a little bit with the black, so I'm just going to take that on this little e.l.f. crease brush right here. I'm not going to go too ham with it. Oh, maybe I will because it seems to be a pretty pigmented black. I just want to focus this kind of in the outer corner and just kind of smudge it against my lashes. I'm not going too crazy with this. Just enough to add a little bit of darkness. I don't even want it to necessarily look like obvious black. Going to go back in now with my first brush, no additional product, just to smudge that lid action. And then I'll kind of go back through with the other blending brush I used with the brighter red. It's actually looking quite nice. I'm going to take that blushy shade now. I'm just going to use this Morphe R37. Only using a little bit of that. And I'm just going to focus this on the very outer edge, just to help blend this some more. This look is pretty simple, I know, but it's just kind of what I wanted. I wanted a very blended out red kind of look. Like I said, this formula and these palettes, specifically this one, isn't my all-time favorite, so I didn't want to do anything too complex. I wanted something that can make these shadows look nice. I do work all day today, so I don't want to feel bad about myself all day long. I think I might highlight my inner corner with just that matte white. Why not? Why not get some use out of it? Can't remember if I liked this matte white. First off the bat, it seems okay. That seems all right. I think I'm gonna put Starstruck, which is just in the Colourpop Smoke Show palette that I'm using as a mirror. Just gonna use that to highlight. I might smoke the lower lash line out just a little bit more. I'm gonna add some more black and then just kind of go back through with all the shades in dark to light order until I like it. Going in with that lid shade now just to help smudge. Now dipping into the brighter red. And then finally that blushy shade again. Just going in once more. I know I'm not super chatty in this video. It's still the morning, so there's people sleeping around me. Not in this room, but next door to me, so I don't want to be too loud. I also just don't really have much to say. I'm just here to do my makeup today. I think that looks nice. It's pretty. It's nothing revolutionary, of course, but I think it looks nice. I'm gonna repeat it on the other eye, throw on my lashes, all my makeup details, all that good stuff, and then we'll chat about that when I get back. All right, this is look number 3. I think it's really pretty. I did end up adding an impulse decision to the look. I recently purchased Ritz through Julia's recommendation here on YouTube, and I totally get the hype. It's so pretty. I just used my finger and just like did a quick tap across my lids, and it just adds such a pretty wetness. I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but I think it's so cute. I'm totally just gonna be keeping this on my filming desk and using it all the time. So get ready for that. My eye pencil I went with is Oxblood from NYX. My lashes are Thrill Seeker Still from Bold Face Makeup, and on my lips I went with Brick from Dose of Colors. The overall look is really pretty. Nothing revolutionary, nothing that I couldn't have done with another palette, but it was fine. It wasn't difficult to do. If I would have used the blue, we would have had some difficulties, I promise. I'm sure it's going to be disappointing to some of you that I didn't use the blue, but it is the worst blue. It's so bad. So yeah, let's just get on to the rest of the video now. All right, so that's it. Those were my looks. Which look was your favorite? Honestly, I liked all of them. Like, even though none of these looks were anything that I couldn't have done with something else that I own, I liked all of them. Like, I feel really good in this one. I might have to give it to look number 2 though. I felt so fierce and cute all day long. I loved that dramatic big wing, but you'll have to let me know which one was your favorite. Which of these palettes is your favorite? Have you guys tried this brand? Do you love the formula? Because it's just not my favorite. It's not the worst. What I used wasn't horrible. Let's just break it down palette by palette. Let's start with the Supernatural. I did have a little bit of issues with patchiness at one point. You remember that in look number 1, but it wasn't anything I wasn't able to just work on and keep blending, and eventually it turned out fine. Not the most revolutionary palette in the world, but it was cute. Created a pretty look with it. That's kind of that with that. The Vampira palette, it's all shimmers. So for me personally, like I said in look number 2, I can really only get away with using like a big wing or maybe using this in conjunction with another palette. However, these shimmers aren't anything so exciting. They're not insanely metallic like I prefer or insanely glittery or anything like that. They're just pretty standard shimmers. So it's not really anything I personally feel the need to reach for again, but they weren't bad. And the Elvira palette, what I used today worked out pretty nicely, but the blue in this palette is so bad. I can't stress that enough. The blue is so bad. And really all around these shades do tend to blend into nothing pretty easy if you blend too much, but I would love to know your thoughts about them. Out of all of these palettes, my favorite is probably the Supernatural, just because I feel like I can use all of the shades, whereas the Elvira I can only use all except the blue. It might be this one, even though this one's super basic, and I only say that with a grain of salt. It's not something I'm going to feel the need to reach for all the time. I have other neutrals that I could reach for if I would prefer that kind of a look that day. But I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm rambling. I didn't hate these palettes. I like the looks I created, but that's pretty much it. They're okay. That's kind of how I feel. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me some bat emojis, something spooky like that. I think that would be cute. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you are not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's beautbean, follow me there. I post every single day. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.